Hey guys, welcome to Digit.in, and this is the Land Rover Discovery Sport. It was first announced in 2014, it came to India in 2015, and it is based on the D8 platform. And before we get into all the details of what this beast has in store, here is a look at where it came from.
The Discovery Sport owes its lineage not to off-roaders like the Series 1 or mid-size SUVs like the Discovery, but rather to the Freelander and the Freelander 2. Land Rover's first compact SUVs, which it launched in the late 1990s.
Now the Land Rover Discovery Sport that we have here is a 5+2 seater, and the last row is of course reserved for kids. And there is a lot of tech that goes inside this car. You have a speaker system that's powered by Meridian, you have individual AC vents for each row, and of course there are a number of sensors that are surrounding this car. But before we get into the tech that's powering this car, we have Shouvik, who's been driving this car for the past few days, and he's going to tell us what this beast feels like on and off the road.
So the Land Rover Discovery Sport has a lot of drive modes, as you would expect. It comes with Eco mode, which you can see selected here, which gives you the best fuel consumption, best mileage possible. Deselecting that, you get all special programs off, no fine tunings of the engine. Apart from that, you get terrain controls like grass, gravel and snow, where the car optimizes the suspension, the braking, acceleration and the entire powertrain according to the terrain. This is when you're driving in grass or gravel or snow. This is for mud ruts, where the suspension needs to be softer to optimize the car, and the rest for sand. You also get hill descent control, where the traction really holds on to the car, the suspension becomes stiffer, and you can switch it off when you want and go back to eco mode as you hit the city road. So this is the central infotainment console, which controls the entirety of technology inside the Land Rover Discovery Sport. You get the physical buttons on either side and the central touchscreen, which is quite responsive, although the interface, as far as we think, is not as exciting as you would expect from a premium car. As you can see, it gets a lot of options. It gets controls for media. We just quickly show you through all of it. You can choose between FM and AM radio, Bluetooth and aux, and if you have an SD card inserted, even that. So apart from media, you get climate control, you get your phone settings, where you just tap on the button and you get the keypad to make calls on the go, call list, your contacts and messages as well, and you can change paired devices. Now apart from the phone controls, you also get navigation control. This is Land Rover's own navigation system. You get controls for where you'd want to go, how you'd want to take directions, and it also gives you graphic and voice instruction. Now the air conditioner can also be controlled from your infotainment screen. You go to climate control, it takes a while to load on, and you just switch it on as per your convenience. You can sync temperature between your rear seat and front seat and all the AC vents, and you can separately control the rear air conditioner according to your convenience. So moving on to the second screen of the infotainment system, we get Land Rover's own set of apps called InControl. It is somewhat like Apple's CarPlay, but on a restricted flavor introduced by Land Rover. For that, you need to connect your phone to the central console. You don't need to separately switch on the set of Land Rover apps, and switching it on here will initialize the setup. As you can see, my phone blacks out and I get my controls over here. I get access to contacts, I get access to my calendar events, I get access to my music and certain third-party apps. The list is limited, but nevertheless it's still there. For instance, I can use Zomato while on the go without needing to use my phone. The interface is a little low resolution, which is not what I would expect from a premium car, but it's still doable. Moving on to other segments, we also have camera controls over here, which controls your rear camera. There you go. Apart from that, you get your drive data, which gives you an analysis of what kind of mileage you're getting and what kind of driving style you should get to get the best kind of mileage. Apart from that, we also have terrain control, 4x4 drive, as we showed previously. Apart from that, we also have valet park, which is an interesting feature. Now once I select valet and I input a pin, there you go, I confirm the pin once more And doing so, once valet mode is activated, none of the features can be accessed apart from just valet and climate control. So if you're giving the car to your valet parking guy and are worried that he might make misuse of your expensive car, worry not, you can simply click on valet, put your PIN and lock the car. Now that's it for the central infotainment console. You get a pretty decent dash of features which you can control through these physical buttons or even through the steering mounted controls. As you can see, light controls and wipers and paddle shifters over here. You also get a menu button which we're going to show you how it works, volume controls, channel controls, cruise control, everything in short lies within your steering wheel's reach. Now once you tap on the menu, you get your multi-instrument display settings, which includes your drive features on whether you want to see warnings when you're driving, what kind of warnings you're getting and why you're getting them. You get your trip computer which shows you which units you want to travel in, which trips you want your information for, along with the instrument display settings on units and measurements and how you want your vehicle to be set up. Now apart from that, you also get live statistics for how you're driving, how you're accelerating, how you're braking, how you're cruising, and all kinds of details that might get you worried in the middle of the road. In fact, you also get to see which gear you're driving in. It's useful for your paddle shift adjustments and your digital speedometer, all completing the entire range of technology in the Land Rover Discovery Sport. Now coming to the music part, you can control it from your phone via Bluetooth or your lightning cable if you're an iOS user, or aux ports, which are all housed in the central hub. Now going to the music app, this is the interface. It's fairly basic, so there's nothing fancy going on over there. This car also comes with a 17 speaker Meridian sound unit. Now we're gonna increase the volume and show you how intense it goes. Now you can also control the characteristics of the sound that you would want from here, where you go to settings and media and you switch to sound. So you have the balance of fader, which gives you an idea of where you want your sound to be coming from, which speaker gets dominance. And there, as you can see, it keeps changing the direction of the audio as per your preference, or you can simply choose to keep it central. Then you can switch to the equalizer of sorts, where you get simple controls for bass and mids and treble. We've kept it like this because that's where we think it sounds the sweetest. And you also get a feature called speed dependent volume, where if you select it, you can get to choose which kind of volume plays at what speed. Now we've kept it off because we'd like the volume controls to be with us. But apart from that, the music setup is actually fairly decent and even the volume is quite good. Now the Land Rover Discovery Sport is expected to be a family utility vehicle, so it does not get 2 individual seats. It gets a full middle row. Along with that, 2 rear seats at the back for kids. Now seating 3 people here, I'm not entirely convinced, but 2 people can sit with ease. You can see a lot of headroom and a pretty decent amount of leg room as well. Along with that, you get a decent amount of storage. You get 2 cup holders. And you get this, which is probably food holder or something, but you can still keep something over here and still sit with ease. So for 2 people, the Land Rover Discovery Sport is a very nice mid-row cabin to be in. Well, now that we've spoken about the middle seat comfort, it's time to look at the third row. It's more like a crevice over there. It's more like sitting inside the luggage compartment. Now I'm gonna see how it feels like to go inside. We're gonna drag the middle seat down as much as possible, push it forward. Even then, as you can see, the space here is very little for any adult to go inside, but we still struggle. Okay, so now that I'm inside, it's time to see how much space I have to sit, and frankly not much. In fact, I'm sitting at my knees at 45 degrees to the level, and the seats itself are tiny, but I have a headrest. Now the most interesting bit is, even though I do not have space to sit, I have a lot of things around me. I have a cup holder over here, I have a charging point, I have my own AC vent, I have my own reading lamps as well. So you may not have space here, but you do have a lot of things to play around with.
Now, when it comes to safety, this car packs in all the standard safety features. But moving on, if you're someone that would find it difficult to parallel or perpendicular park this car, you know what? It can actually do that itself. And here's a quick demo.
So as you can see, my hands are off the wheel and the car is parking itself, which is pretty cool. In addition, the Discovery Sport has other features for your convenience, which you would expect in cars of this price range. For instance, the push start button, sunglass holder, touchsense map reading lights, buttons to fold the rear seats, and electronic seat adjustments for the front seats. Now, when you buy a premium SUV, you might be looking at a powerful engine or off-roading capabilities or a lot of technology inside and a lot of things. Now, the Land Rover Discovery Sport here actually tries to bring in all of these into one package, one compact package, and that too one that is aimed at the family. The Discovery Sport's engine, the 2-liter petrol engine, delivers 177 brake horsepower, and the power really feels very linear, the power feels very straightforward. You drive confidently, you drive at ease, and the car stays within 2000 RPM for most of the part. It's mated to a 9-speed transmission, which is fairly smooth. It's a little bit jerky at city speeds, but otherwise it is smooth, it is linear. The acceleration is very gradual, which is one very nice thing. The brakes are not as sharp as we've seen on a few other cars before, but even then the brakes are pliant and are good enough for random braking. Now, when you throw the car into the corners at high speeds, it might feel a little unstable, but it doesn't feel unsafe at all. In contrast, it actually feels very dynamic, which is not something that this car is really intended to do. But even apart from that, it is a fairly lively drive. And one thing that I absolutely love is the heavy steering wheel. It's an electronic steering wheel, but the weight has been adjusted to perfection by Land Rover, which is an absolute joy, an absolute joy to drive.
Well, it looks like the Land Rover Discovery Sport does pack in quite the punch, but I have one last question. Shovik, ये देती कितना है?
60 lakhs की कार का mileage कौन पूछता है?
Well, that is a fair point, but we'd like to tell you that Land Rover claims that you can get 10 kilometers to the litre in this car. In our experience, we got close to 11 kilometers to the litre on the highway and about 7 kilometers to the litre in the city. Now, if you are someone that's planning to pick up one of these beasts, we wouldn't stop you. But before we let you go, we would like to show you what Land Rover has in store for the Discovery lineup.
The all-new Discovery's intelligent versatility optimizes interior space. The world-first intelligent seat fold system enables you to configure the seating arrangement from inside the vehicle or even remotely via your smartphone, providing copious luggage space when required. Gesture control allows you to open the main tailgate with a wave of your foot under the rear of either side of the vehicle. The dual-purpose powered inner tailgate retains loose items when raised and offers comfortable event seating that bears up to 300 kilograms when lowered. Inside, best-in-class storage solutions offer more capacity than ever before. Innovations include extra-deep console storage up front that holds up to 5 mini-tablets, and you can keep 2-liter bottles cool in the armrest storage with the chiller. There are also up to 9 USB points available, so all passengers can keep their devices charged. Another first for Land Rover is the Activity Key. It's a durable, waterproof wristband that locks and unlocks the vehicle, allowing outdoor activities without carrying keys. Auto Access Height uses the vehicle's air suspension to help you make an elegant entrance and exit, seamlessly lowering it ready for you to get in or out. The all-new Discovery. Unrivaled versatility through smart technology and superior practicality.